Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm truly grateful. I retired at age 55 and only have one regret. And that was I should have retired at age 50. And I know a lot of you are saying, well, hell, at 55 you retired early. But in my humble opinion, I retired late. You know, most of us think that 65 is retirement age. Well, it is to receive government benefits. But who says the government knows what's right for me? They didn't just get that 65 years out of thin air. At the time they came up with that number, life expectancy in the United States was around 62 years old. So they knew you weren't going to make it anyway. But my whole thing was, now that, hindsight is always 20/20, I just believe that I gave 5 years back to the Matrix. I didn't know any more at 55 as I did at 50. When you think about it, by the time a person turns 50 in the United States, he or she has put at least 32 years into the system, if not 28, if you go to college. I think there's plenty of time to come up with a plan to live the rest of your life, to save enough money. But what happens is, if you're anything like me, you start making some choices that in the long run, they hinder you from retiring early, like the 30-year mortgage. A lot of us, we get married too young. And so you can't save any money over there. That was my big one, because I didn't save any more money from the age of 50 to 55. And people always ask me, when did you decide to take your Social Security at 62? Well, to be honest with you, the day that I found out that you could take your Social Security at 62. So I said, why even wait another 7 years? I can't save any money. So it's just going to be 7 years more of not saving any money. But let's go back to giving back 5 years to the Matrix. I don't know if any gamblers are out there, but it's like I'm winning at 50. I'm at the casino, but I decided to stay at the table for 5 more years. And I think that's what happened to me. I wasted 5 good years, man. And so that's the only mistake or the only regret that I have. Now I'm going to walk down here. This is one of the back streets where I live. This is called Margarita Village Extension. Okay, I used to live in Margarita Village. For anybody that's been following me for any considerable period, that's owned by the city. So you're going to see the paved roads. You're going to see the sidewalks, the street signs. This is still privately owned. City hasn't taken this over yet, so there's not going to be any, the roads aren't paved. It's basically like living in Providence or something like that, but you're in the city. But yeah, I should have retired at 50. That's my only regret, because that would have been 5 more years in the sun and the sand. A man reaches his peak really at about 45 years old. I'm going to have to look that up because I don't have a load to check. But at 50, you're in pretty damn good shape, no matter how you look at it. And I just think I wasted 5 years. I think I gave 5 years back to the Matrix. And good morning, man. Good talk. And if I could do it all over again, I would have came up with a better plan. Listen, if you're out there and you're reaching the age of 50, you have to take a look at your situation. Who says you have to wait until 62 to retire, or 67, or 65, or whatever it is, 70? Because believe it or not, man, by that time your body's going to be beat up. You're probably going to have another car note or two, maybe credit card bills run up. Because I had a sister that retired at 67. The problem was she still had about 10 more years left on her mortgage. So she couldn't stay retired. So 3 years later, she had to go back to work at age 70, which I think is just ridiculous. Start looking around now for a place. It doesn't have to be the Philippines. Certainly doesn't have to be Thailand, but somewhere where your money can go further, where you don't have to save $1 million to retire. Fine, Butchak. Because these are numbers that these government officials and these financial gurus throw out there. And those are the best case scenarios, man. I don't know. I know very few people. I know John had a little bit over $1 million in his investments. But me, coming from Louisville, Kentucky, I know very few people like that who can accumulate that kind of money. And see, the sad part of it, he never was able to enjoy it. Even though he had retired officially, he didn't have time to enjoy his money. See, so at 50 years old, man, you can enjoy the money, whatever money you've got left. And you're still young enough, if you needed to, you could get an online business, or an SRRV starts at 50. With SRV, you can work, you can go to school, you can own a business. Wherever you go, wherever you decide to go, but especially here in the Philippines. And when you put that money, that deposit up, it's still yours. Whenever you decide to leave or whatever it is, they give you your money back. So you're really not even paying for the SRV. So yeah, I got to regret, man, that I didn't come up with a better plan that would have allowed me to retire at 50. I couldn't save any money anyhow. I just gave 5 years back to the Matrix, man. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. Over here in the Philippines, you know, that argument of $1,000 every month budget, you know, it's going to go on forever. But you don't need much more than that, especially if you're really going to be single. Single, I mean, not, you know, because you're not married. If you're not married, you're considered single. But if you got a live-in partner, you're not single over here. Mein Butchak. So yeah, it's really my only regret. And yeah, I've got regrets, man. You know, but that's really my only regret about retiring at 55. I should have retired at 50. 5 years is a long time. I beat up myself that last 5 years. Probably why I was in such bad condition when I got here. That's just 5 years of dealing with all that other stuff that I had to deal with over there. 5 years of walking up and down in pavements, beating on doors, you know, persuading people to receive their Medicare through the government. Just a lot of unneeded stress, worry, and anxiety. I stayed at the table too long, guys, and I don't want you to do it. That's why I make videos like this. I wish somebody would have talked to me. I had nobody to talk to. Everybody in my circle, they're going to the bitter end. They're going to their 65. They're going to their 67. My sister, I have another sister who I looked up to. She's a retired teacher now. She actually retired twice. Once from AT&T and then once as a teacher. She worked all the way to 67. I haven't had a chance to see how her retirement is working out. But she's always made smart financial decisions. And I don't know why she worked that long, but I'm 59, I'm getting ready to turn 60. And I just can't see myself going back to work under no circumstances. Those numbers, guys, are not real numbers. Those are government numbers that they put on us. The 30-year mortgage. 62 when you can receive your Social Security. And then they'll even try to discourage you from doing that. And I'm like, how can you discourage somebody from getting their money early? By the time I turn 67, which is what they want you to, is the age, the target age that they think that's proper for you to receive your Social Security. Hell, that's 5 years worth of checks that I've lost. And who says I'm even going to live to be 67? So I just want to talk about that today. I got up with that on my mind. I said, you know, my life is so good over here, guys, I promise you. And I just feel I cheated myself out of 5 good years. By staying in the matrix. I gave 5 years back. I stayed at the table. Man, Bunchak, too long. And you know, when you do that at the casino, you're gonna lose, man. You're gonna lose. At any given time during the night at the casino, 93%, 92% of the people are winning. But at the end of the night, only 7% of the people leave winners. And I want to win at life, man. I want you to win at life. So thank y'all so much for stopping by again. If you're in America, England, France, Thailand, Iceland, Ireland, Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand. And before I get off here, let me send my sincerest condolences to Mike. I don't know. Yeah, Michael Jackson is his name. He was the business owner here of Mike's Beer and Burgers, man. He recently passed away. I was shocked about that. He had great food here, guys. I mean, whenever I was craving a burger, hot dog, a taco, I mean, real Western food, people would come from miles away to eat at his restaurant. Filipinos loved it. It gave them a change of pace. He passed away recently, and I'm sad to hear that. COVID took his business. He never was able to open back up fully. Couldn't. I was told by one of the councilmen here that, Mayan Buntak, he couldn't import his meat again. You know, they had made some changes here. You know, the swine flu, the African swine flu, all the swine flu. And it hurt his business. He never was able to open back up. I used to see him just sitting in front of his business, and I'd wave to him when I walked by, I rode by on my bike. But yeah, he passed away recently. He was young. I'm pretty sure if he was probably his mid to late 60s, guys. That's early to die. Take care of yourself, man. If you're in a position to retire early, do it. I mean, you know, unless you just love your job so much that it's fun. I just can't see staying at the table too long, man. You know, it's not a day goes by I don't help somebody over here. I'm going to help somebody today on Monday, even if it's just myself. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time.